Well, there's nobody online right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of sit here and talk, kind of go over things a little bit. Nobody's actually watching, so hopefully that's going to change really soon. I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of sit here and talk, kind of go over things a little bit. Nobody's actually watching, so live chat begins. It's online. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for coming to the Global Detection Adventures podcast. Today is not your typical podcast. If you look behind me, you can see a whole lot of geek going on behind me. Original drawings of Superman from a comic book artist, an original limited edition print of a Justice League comic book, Star Wars figures, and much more behind me. Even over here, you can see little blonde haired 1970s Lance. Boy, those were some tough years, I tell you what. Anyway, so this is going to be a special episode. This show is not being recorded yet. I'm going to get that up and going. So anybody can feel free to jump in if you want to sit and talk about movie, television, comic books. If you want to just, I don't know, just sit and chat about anything whatsoever, feel free to give me a call. Area code is 920-455-5118. Unfortunately, David is not around. I know his broadcast booth is high up in the atrium at the Lambeau Field, but today he's not going to be up in the atrium. He's down in the seats. He's watching the game with a couple of his family members that came in, and so they're going to be rooting for the Green Bay whatevers. I know who they are. I'm from Seattle, so I gotta make fun of them a little bit, you know. But yeah, in Seattle we say the Green Bay Packers. Their uniforms are green and white, just so that they can hide the grass stains better. Anyway, I won't get into that one. You know me. I love my football. I love my home teams. Being from Washington State and Colorado and the Carolinas, I've rooted for just about all the teams that are out there. And yes, before anyone asks, I do have Jim Beam going right now. If you do drink, make sure you drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. GDA does not like that whatsoever. Did that just come out of me? I'm sorry. Boy, that was like a hinky little fart. Hey, Nugget Brain is in. Evening, Bob. Like I was telling everybody, there's no regularly scheduled show today. There was supposed to be, but like I was saying, Dave's going to be sitting in the stadium and watching the football team, and Mike is getting ready for surgery, so he's not going to be able to make it as well. Now, nothing big going on with the surgery. It's nothing big, nothing fantastic. He told me not to worry about it. It's nothing big, and so he wanted me to pass it on to each one of you, the listeners, and let you know. Listen, don't worry. Everything's going to be fine with him. He's going to be a-okay. So don't worry about Mike. And as far as Dave, let's hope the Green Bay Packers actually make it. So the show today is just going to be about whatever we want to kind of talk about. I haven't started recording yet, so I'm just waiting for anybody that wants to come in and co-host or do anything. Feel free to come in and talk. I mean, we can talk about metal detecting. We can talk about radio. We can talk about television, movies, whatever you feel like talking about. This is your chance to get stuff, well, off your chest and sit and talk about it. So anyway, I'm going to get stuff ready to go. And I might actually have a friend of mine coming in, Kevin Brown. He's a geek extraordinaire. I'm going to go ahead and send him the link, let him know as well. Let's see. I'm going to let him know on right now. Whenever you want. So anyway, Hey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go. I'm going to go German here for just a little bit. One of our friends, Frank from Kiss Park in Bad Kissingen, he just popped on to say hello. I want to go ahead and give him a great big shout out. Servus, Frank. Ich hoffe, dass der Schnee ist nicht so tief bei euch in Bad Kissingen und dass ihr hat ein ganz gutes Wochenende gehabt. Heute bei mir geht. Ich habe dabei ein bisschen Jack Daniels und ganz, ganz gleich, wir reden über alles, was Pop Culture ist, sozusagen. So, cheers, Frank. Und Dankeschön, für dass wir bei euch unsere neue Videos machen können. Hoffentlich das Wetter hält und wir können das demnächst machen. Bis dann. Hallo, Frank at Kiss Park. So anyway, I was telling him thank you. He's the owner of the place where we're going to be. That's where we're going to be filming our survival techniques videos, and so I wanted to give him a great big shout out. He's given us full permission to run and film on their location for the new videos that are coming up. Speaking of videos, I got a new metal detecting video coming up also, and Prost Frank. So I got a new metal detecting video coming up. Hopefully have that out in the next couple days. Taking a little bit to edit it. Nothing really fancy. It's just a coin hunt, our annual coin hunt that we have going on here. And so yeah, you can watch that. It's only going to be about between 5 and 7 minutes long at the most. And but it was a real fun day. Yeah, just the two of us out there, and you'd be kind of surprised who wins this time. Every 2 years we do this at one of the local outdoor swimming pools, and last time we both ended up with 11 and 12 euro. I won, but you're going to have to wait for the video to see who won this year. So you got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So no trying to guess now. And yeah, please, everybody, if you want a very special offer, head on over to www.ats.org and take a look at Wayne Peterson's website there. They got a special offer going out right now. And if you head over there right now, you can take advantage of that. And thank you to Wayne Peterson, who's in Colorado, one of my home states. I'm from Fort Collins up there. Actually, I was between Loveland and Fort Collins. Our house was out in that desert area right at the base of the mountains there. So really loved growing up there. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this show running. Let me send a quick message to Kevin. He's not going to be able to make it in. Hey, don't worry about it, Kevin. I'm coming on live. We're going to be geeking out in just a second. So if you get a chance, come on in. If not, that's fine. Take care of yourself. I know you got your surgery coming up, so make sure you're ready for that. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, talk to you later, brother. So, sorry about that, everybody. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing recording, and how about we start geeking out? Anybody want to come in and just talk with me about anything that is on your mind? Feel free to give me a call. If not, I might be playing some music, you know, the way I do it when I fill stuff. So, all right. This is the Not So Typical Global Detection Adventures podcast. And this is our song. Let's dig it up. Ladies and gentlemen, you've bumped into the Global Detection Adventures podcast. Now, if you're expecting something to be metal detecting this week, you're in for a sore night. It's going to be all over the place tonight. Unfortunately, Dave is sitting in the stadiums in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and he's watching the Green Bay Packers do whatever the Green Bay Packers do. So, as far as him coming onto the show, that's not going to be happening. And unfortunately, Mike needs to go in for surgery tomorrow. He wants me to give a big hello to every single one of you. It's nothing too big. You don't need to worry about it. He's just going in for routine surgery, nothing big whatsoever. Uh, he'll be back as soon as he can. But until then, you guys are stuck with little old me. It is 6 o'clock in Germany and 5 o'clock in the UK. Now, this show is going to be slightly different than a lot of them that you've seen. This is going to be more along the lines of the Q&A with GDA and myself, and we're going to be kind of talking over whatever we can talk about. It's a great show, and I know we're going to have a lot of fun. Anybody that wants to come in, feel free to come in and give me a shout out. Come in and talk. We can talk about whatever we want. This is our show. We are hijacking the GDA network tonight, and we are going to be geeking out. So, right now, I want to go ahead and take us out, and I'm going to bring in a guy named Scott Dubé. He's talking about the excuse me, he wants to talk about the MAS 13.5-inch coil that's come out recently for the Garrett metal detectors, and I think you guys are going to really love what he has to say. And maybe we'll be bringing in a couple other people. We will find out. But for right now, let's listen to exactly what Scott Dubé has to say.
This is Scott Dubé from the Garrett Ace Metal Detectorist Facebook page. I've been using the Garrett Ace models for a very long time, as well as Hunter's Kimmy Dubé. And we've had the opportunity to receive a little testing coil from Regton's. It's called the Moss coil. It's a 13-inch double D. It's very similar to the Tornado, but there's some great differences here. This coil, I've weighed them. It's 280 grams less than the Tornado. And if you all know, swinging a big double D coil all day will really give you a workout on your arm. This really makes the difference. We've done depth tests on the Garrett Ace 250 and the 400 with the stock coils on both. The stock coil on the 250, the double D coil on the 400i. We've also we both have Hunter coils. Now Hunter coils. We've put those on the 250 and the 400 as well. We've done depth tests with that. And then we put this Moss 13-inch double D on there. And I tell you what, it's mind-boggling. It blows it all away. It really does. It's a fantastic coil. I wouldn't put my name behind anything unless I've tested it and I've seen it with my own eyes. And I do thoroughly endorse this coil. But right now it's at Regton's. Regton, it's not on their website right now, I don't think, and it's definitely not in their catalog yet, but you can definitely order it right now if you give them a call. It's at an introductory price. It's brand new on the market. It's fresh from the factory. That's how new it is. You get a hold of them, give them a call, and you can place your order for them. I think they're in stock now. But the price goes up from $99.95 to, I think it's another 25-30 pounds at the end of December. So now's the time to definitely get this coil. It's fantastic. I was testing out a nice silver half crown. That was my testing item. And it was definitely banging this coin at about 16 to 18 inches without a problem. The 250, it was given a single ding on one side of the swing, but not on the back. But the 400i was nailing it without a problem. So there you go. That is my my decision on this coil. I'm going to give it the thumbs up, and yeah, I hope you guys check it out, and definitely give Regton a call. You can either mention the UK Dirt Fishing page or the Garrett Ace Metal Detecting page, just as a reference. Just tell them where you heard about it. or from this podcast, of course, or RC Tech Magazine, of course. And thank you guys very much for having me today. And take care. Happy hunting, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody that heads over to the Regton website, make sure that you mention that GDA sent you to them. Maybe we can get a little some loving from them. Not sure. I mean, we're not in any kind of cahoots with them, but we do love sharing the love of metal detecting, as every single one of you know. And by letting them know that Global Detection Adventures sent you to them, maybe they'll start helping us reach a lot more people out there. Now, yeah. If you have actually enjoyed listening to the Global Detection Adventures podcast and you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you just go right down below here, give us a big thumbs up, subscribe, and you'll see a little bell that's over there. Make sure you highlight that bell, and whenever we release a new episode or new videos on here, you will receive an instant message to let you know, hey, Global Detection Adventures has a brand new video out for you to watch or listen to. Make sure you do that. And if you subscribe to us on iTunes, make sure you please, we can't say this enough, leave us a rating and a review on there. It only takes a couple minutes. Just say, great show, love it, whatever. Give us 5 stars, 4 stars. Heck, give us 1 star and, curse us out. Whatever it takes. The more votes we get, the more people leaving messages and leaving reviews on there, the higher we start ranking in the iTunes settings. And that's what we want to do. We just want to get more people to actually come and listen to us. And we can't do that unless we have your help. And so we greatly appreciate anybody that's come in and does that. And anybody who leaves a comment or a review on iTunes, we will mention you directly on one of the podcasts. Now, my videos from this point on will be getting dual released on the Global Detection Adventures YouTube channel, plus the Detecting with GDA Lance channel, which is my normal channel. So make sure you go check that out. All right. So thank you again for, oh man, I got so many windows open. It's just crazy. Yeah, thanks, Wayne, for mentioning that and bringing that up again. I try to do it. Now, as far as there being a model for the T2, Patrick, I'm not really sure. I really don't know. You'd have to go over and check that out. I believe these are Garrett only coils. These were actually developed by Garrett for the Garrett machines. So now, as far as the T2, you might be able to find something for them. You just got to look around and find exactly what there is. But as far as anything for the T2, I think you're going to have to look specifically for that device. This is something that is just specifically for the Garrett. So my guests are writing me. Unfortunately, I forgot to put my phone on mute. If anyone wants to come in and talk, then just feel free to give me a call at area code 920-455-5118. And feel free to give me a buzz. I'm not usually used to talking so much, as you can tell. It's not my greatest thing that I do, but I love actually running these shows. And you normally see that I'm in the background and I'm helping produce the show with Dave and Mike. And I'm more of a producer, director kind of guy. I'm not really much of a talker, but when I get a chance to talk, I'm going to talk about the things that I love. And so right now, I think one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kind of move into the things that I'm watching on television right now and let you guys know exactly what's going on. Now, a lot of you will know that I'm kind of one of those Western guys. I love those old Westerns. One of my favorites is going to be Pale Rider. I'm not much of a Clint Eastwood Western fan, but Pale Rider was one of my favorites. Just the gritty darkness of that one really, really spoke to me. I loved it. And if you know me, I'm a comic. I love comedy. And so there is an old Tom Berenger film, and the the movie is by far an actual classic. And so I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. Oh man, this thing it's really funny. It talks about the differences between the 1940 serial westerns, um, the 1940 serial westerns, and the difference between them in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s westerns, the difference in how the people actually are. Um, Wayne, the telephone number to call is area code 920-455-5118. That's area code 920-455-5118. But yeah, the axe handle scene in Pale Rider is fantastic. And the movie that I'm thinking about with Tom Berenger, it's called Rustler's Rhapsody. Make sure you take a look at it. Tom Berenger plays a character. He was a singing cowboy in the 40, and and he's a singing cowboy in the 40s, and so he kind of goes through this thing, and he's in the 1960s. The real gritty westerns. Hey, yeah, we're still good to get the Dubais on. Dubais, I think that's actually their name. You think you say Dubais. Um, and whenever they come in, they can get in touch with me over Facebook, or they can add me on Skype. I'm on Skype and Facebook at the same time right now, so feel free to get in touch with me. We're kind of shotgunning subjects around, so we'll be all over the map today. So feel free to bring them in. I'd love to get them in and talk about their hunt today. Boy, did they find some great stuff. And the views over there in Wales are just unbelievable. So yeah, can't wait to get them in. And later on, I'm going to be joined with a buddy of mine, James, and we're going to kind of geek out over Star Wars for a little bit. Another one of my favorite subjects. And for anyone who doesn't know, the new Star Wars is dropping on the 15th of December. That's Star Wars Episode 8 and the return of Luke Skywalker, finally, after 30-something years. I think it's 37 years now. Wait. I think it's actually, it's about 37 years, somewhere around that time, 1983. So I think it's actually 34 years. So he's finally coming back. And so a lot of us can't be more excited. In fact, I'm staring at my costume right now. I got invited by the local theater to come and play Obi-Wan Kenobi for the opening show. It's one of the things that I do. And they asked me to come and do that. And so I'm going to be standing in front of the theater and waving people in, and hopefully giving some people having some fun when just a second. I'm talking to the guys to get them into the show. And bring them in to talk about their metal detecting out in Wales. Their name is Kimmy and Scott. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Kimmy and Scott are out in Wales, and they were out metal detecting until literally about half an hour ago. And I guess they're back home or on the way back home right now. They found some really old stuff, some old, some old buttons and stuff. Patrick, we know you talk to trees. Oh, you're talking about the movies. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So I've been watching a TV show on Netflix called Godless. If you haven't seen it, real gritty, based on the book. Now the story behind this, the guy who directed it, he wanted to make a feature film out of the movie, out of the book, and what he ended up doing is he brought it over to Netflix, and they're like, you know what, you can make a 7 or 8 issue uh, mini series about this. And so that's what he ended up doing, which ended up being a lot more beautiful because a movie has a tendency in an hour and a half to 2 hours to try and fit in a whole bunch of character development as small of a period of time as possible. And Godless is it's a true western. It really is a true western, but it's a much longer western. And oh, just a second, let me make sure. I got to get signed in because I only have one computer that actually does it. Just a second, Wayne. I only got the one computer that I can actually receive phone calls on. There, it's going in. Yeah, see, it shows I missed your call there. If you want to call in again, Wayne, you can feel free to give us a call in, and let's talk about what it is that special offer you got going on your website. Sorry about that. Sorry I missed the call. I forgot to finish signing in. I'm a dork. But yeah, if you get a chance, if you sign up for Netflix, make sure you check out Godless, especially if you're into the westerns. Um, you know me, I really, really, truly am, and it is a great, great show. I'm about halfway into the series and really loving it. And I think anybody who's into westerns would really actually love the show. The other thing you're going to see quite a connection here. Other stuff that I actually watch is almost all just on Netflix. Um, um, Trying to see what's going on here. Wayne, if you try calling in right now, you should be able to get through to me. I should be able to see it. And because I'm looking right at it, and I see that you tried calling 2 times at 6:16 and 6:17. And if you try it right now, I should be able to get you in, no problem. So sorry about the dead time, people. Trying to get Wayne here, and I'd love to sit and talk with him. First of all, from Colorado, where cowboys are true cowboys. Besides Texas, and yeah, Colorado's where I learned how to really appreciate horses, country music, Rocky Mountain oysters, beer. That's right. It's where true men grew up. And then they moved to Washington State. Not really. But anyway, yeah, I'm seeing the telephone number 970. Unfortunately, I can't call back on Skype. Patrick likes to go around Yahoo News and troll in the comments, which doesn't surprise me with Patrick. That's actually kind of funny. But anyway, over on the back to the television series, if you're watching a show called Stranger Things, if you've never seen it, you need to get Netflix, if only just to watch this show. Second season just recently came out, and I didn't think it'd get any better than the first season, and it does. It really, truly does get better. The second season is by far superior to the first one, but it is. Just a moment. Let me get. Why are my speakers muted? Hello? So why is this one doing it now? And I know I got him here, but why is it? I keep saying that my speaker's muted. I see him on here. Oh, there he is. You hearing me, Wayne?
I can hear you. I'm across the pond.
Oh boy, I got my volume way too loud. All right. So I should be able to hear you. Sorry about that. For some reason, my computer, I just rebooted it today. We were having problems the last couple of weeks. I rebooted and got a new operating system on there. Seems to be running all right now. So how are things
That's
going over
awesome.
there? How's everything going with you?
Everything in Colorado is just going awesome at this time. And Watts has teamed up with the Pomerankis. If you don't know who the Pomerankis are, they're the ones who have the Bering Sea Gold Show up in Nome, Alaska. They're running the big dredges and big TV hit show. Every week it comes on. And Pomerankis has teamed up with Watts, and we have a special offer. If you sign up today, you can get our special offer at $85. It gives you a Pomeranki gold-plated coin from their actual mine up in Nome, Alaska.
Wow.
For $85, and it includes a 3-year membership for Watts.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
And we're extending the offer for today. Today's the 3rd of the month. And we're extending the offer if you want to get that. Otherwise, the coin's going to cost you $99 for just the coin, plus shipping and handling and all that. And the coin regularly sells for $136.
Oh, wow. So that's a heck of a deal, plus a 3-year membership to Watts and everything.
Right. And we have a lot of things coming up. We're going to have a big treasure show in Durango, Colorado in April. And looks like the Pomerankis will be showing up for that. And right now we're working on a $25,000 metal detecting hunt here in the United States. Somebody could win up to $25,000 worth of gold nuggets.
$25,000 worth of gold nuggets?
Yes, we're working on it. We're going to have a couple days of seminars. We're going to have a big metal detecting contest. Also in April, when we have our show, Robert McDonald has been on your show. He was on, about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, going on about a month.
Right. He's coming to the United States. He will be attending our show here in April. And we are going to set 2 to 3 world records in one day.
Oh, wow.
With Robert's assistance.
Huh.
He's got over 50 world records. We want to give him another one.
Yeah, if you're going to be trying to set 3 world records in one day, I wonder if that itself is a world record, especially if you can get one person to do 3 world records in a day. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's one of those.
We're working with Guinness Book of World Records and Ripley's Believe It or Not. The paperwork has been submitted, and we're just waiting for confirmations on and all the guidelines that they're going to have to do it. So, and then we have our big metal detecting hunt in Mancos, Colorado. It'll be the weekend before July 4th. And we're going to have treasure chests. We don't know exactly what hunts we're going to do. We have over 50 hunts in our catalog. And every year we try to pick a different hunt. A couple years ago, 2 years ago, we did a treasure chest hunt. We had 3 huge treasure chests full of all kinds of goodies. We had 3 locks. Each one had its own lock, and 2 keys buried out in the field, along with hundreds of other keys of similar size and shape.
Oh, wow.
And we buried the keys out in the field, and the first one to bring the key in that opened one of the 3 boxes, the key stayed in there. We put a tag on the top of the box saying who found it, and they went out and tried to find another key.
And
that took about an hour and a half before the first key came in.
Yeah.
That found the box. And people were coming in with a key, but the key already fit a lock, so they couldn't get that box, so they had to go out and find another key. And once all 3 keys were found, the game was quit. You know, we quit the game, and then we revealed what was inside the treasure boxes.
Really? And
that's one hunt. We have flag hunts where we plant flags in the field, and there's 2 flags that have the same number, 1 through 50 or 1 through 100, matters how many people are in the field.
Uh-huh.
And we plant coins. We plant 2 coins. So you have to find both coins that correspond to the number of the flag, and then you got to find the flag and bring the 2 coins in and the 2 flags, and then you win a prize immediately. We hand you your prize, and you go back out and do it again.
That's pretty cool.
And it's a fast-moving game.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it.
We also do what we call a speedo hunt. And you could win one of 2 gold nuggets. We plant 2 gold nuggets, and we have coins out there, pennies. When I say go, you go out and you find a penny, you come back, it's got to sit on the table, and you've got to be sitting on the seat, and then I call game. The first one comes in, stays. The next person comes up and runs out, and we do the same thing. We just keep going 2 at a time.
Huh.
And we call it a speedo hunt. And it's a fast-acting game.
That's actually really fun.
In 2008, my son was in the contest. I was in it. I ended up bailing. I just couldn't run anymore. I was wore out. My son ended up winning over $36 in quarters.
Oh, wow.
And then this last year we had the contest, and my son split it with another guy, and he got about the same amount of money.
Oh, $36 in quarters. That's a couple hours in the video arcade, if there was still one around.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have any of those here, but nope. Yeah, we have all kinds of games we play. In our field in Mancus over here, we have 36 acres of property. On that 36 acres, anybody could go out at any time while we're there.
Yeah.
Except for our designated hunt fields. And we have planted 3 coffee cans of relics. Everything from coins to keys, keychains, watches, watch fobs. You name it, we buried it out in that area.
Yeah.
And while we don't have a hunt going on, anybody's allowed to go out and find that stuff and keep whatever they find.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's
really nice.
We already have another coffee can filled right now for next year. And we usually go out a month or 2 months before the hunt, and we start planting the outer areas and then the inner field. We've planted over 5,000 wheat cent pennies out in our 2.5 acre field already.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Over the last 4 years.
So you always got something that you could always go out and metal detect out on that field.
Right.
And Patrick, I know you're listening.
Go out there and they're a Watts member, they can contact the camp, and then the camp will give them permission to go out there and, metal detect anytime they want. You got nothing to do, run out there and metal detect for a couple hours.
Exactly. And it's Colorado. It doesn't get much more beautiful than, like I say, than Colorado. Plus, that's where the real cowboys come from. All you guys from Texas. Shut it.
We have a lot of Texas people, Oklahoma, Wyoming, Nevada, California come out for our hunts, Arizona.
Yeah,
a lot of people come out for our hunts.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, it sounds like something that I know Patrick would definitely do. That Yeah, he would definitely go up there and start burying stuff for you. He's the founder of the Vulcan Treasure Society, and he plants finds for people to find around the world. I've done some here. I think he's got some in Australia, in the United States, and anybody who finds it just gets in contact with him and lets him know. I think that would be
Yeah.
something he'd really love to do.
Well, last year I've done this now. I've been doing these since about 2005, these type of hunts and seminars and everything else. I used to run a week-long seminar with metal detecting hunts and treasure hunts and gold prospecting hunts and all that. But I've always taken 2 secrets cans and I put treasures inside the secrets can. It could be a silver dollar, it could be a gold nugget, it could be rings, it could be all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff he does. Yeah.
And in the secrets cans, I seal them with black tape. I have a special black tape that I use, and I seal them and I initial it to say it's my seal on there. And then I plant these out on the property, and I tell people, you know, go out and find these secrets cans. Do not open them. If you open them, it's void, and you could bring it in. So then I'll have 3 big boxes on the table. If somebody brings one in, you got choice of number 1, number 2, or number 3. Do you want to keep the secrets can, or do you want to trade it in for one of these boxes?
Metal detecting, let's make a deal.
And they, you know, sometimes they'll pick a box, sometimes they'll keep the secrets can. Well, if they keep the secrets can, we take the box and we auction it off to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
And then the highest bidder could open up that box, but they can't show anybody or tell anybody what's in there.
Ooh.
And then we say to them, okay, if you want to see what this person's got in this box, it costs you $1. It's $1 to look. So people will line up and they'll hand the lady at the camp $1 and they'll look and they'll go, ooh, ah, oh, wow. And then they'll go sit down. Some people come up and give a $5 look. So they get a little bit longer. We give them maybe 2 minutes to look at it. Then we take that, and then the person that, if they keep that secrets can, then we open it up.
Yeah.
Same thing. They can't show what's inside there or tell anybody what's inside there, but it costs you $1 to look. And we've raised anywhere from $50 to $75 just on looks.
Oh boy.
Right?
Yeah.
And then if they don't, if they want the box and they don't want the secrets can, we auction that off and we raise money. So what we do is we take this money, we'll get anywhere from $200 to $500 by the time all the oohs and ahs and the looks and everything else goes on. And then raffling or auctioning off that particular box.
Yeah.
We turn around and we hand that camp the money.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And we say, here, there's $500. These are in the auction and the oohs and ahs. And this goes to the camp. It's a Christian camp.
Yeah.
They cook for us. They have facilities for us to stay in, buildings to, you know, stay in while we're there. Full accommodation, showers, toilets, everything. So we give that back as a donation to the church camp. And, you know, it helps them out throughout the year. Because, you know, camps don't make very much money, especially when they have 500 kids there. You know, a lot of these kids can't afford to go to summer camp, to a Christian summer camp.
Yeah, definitely.
So a lot of them get scholarships. So we try to help out the camp is our whole thing we've done.
Absolutely. Patrick was just noticing that you have birds as well.
What's that?
You have birds in your home?
Yeah, I have 2 birds in my. I got 2 parakeets.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because Patrick, who is from the Vulcan Treasure Society, he's the one that does the seeding metal detecting, kind of like what you were saying. He also has birds as well, so he noticed that in your audio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love birds. I had a huge cockatoo and it passed away. A cat killed it.
Oh,
Got
geez.
into my house and killed it. And, you know, $2,000 bird, 26 years old, was gone.
Yeah, that's too
So-
bad.
So I got 2 parakeets. They're safe. They're in their cage. And, yeah, I love birds.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's. I thought my wife really wants to get a bird as well, and we have 3 cats, and I'm just kind of worried about that. Maybe after the cats.
well, my cockatoo, I would let him out all the time. He'd fly up on your shoulder. If he didn't want to sit there, he'd go sit somewhere else. If he needed to use the bathroom, he knew where the cage was. So never had any problems with him. He was a good talker and a good actor. And I mean, he was just an awesome bird. And my ex-wife's cat got in the house one day and jumped up and grabbed it and broke its neck. So,
Oh, jeez.
and I witnessed it all, and I was heartbroken, and I still am. So,
Yeah, I bet.
and that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, I bet. Well, that's too
So-
bad.
Does anybody have any questions in the chat room about Watts or what we have coming up? I mean, we have such an agenda coming up.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we're gonna, we have a new thing coming out. We will have a newsletter. We're working on it now. It'll be the first newsletter that Watts has ever had since 2003. All our members will get an emailed newsletter to them every month with updates and stories and things that are going on. See, Watts doesn't do only metal detecting. We do treasure hunting. We do geocaching. We do gold prospecting. We do arrowhead collecting, bottle collecting, and, you know, anything to do with a treasure. If it's a swap meet treasure or going out and finding a $10 million treasure, that's what we specialize in. We have people in our board and in our organization that work with other people. If you have any questions, let's say on geocaching, we have a person that could explain to you how to do the geocaching, how to set geocaches out there, how to find them, what to look for, and everything else.
Oh, wow. That's great.
And
Yeah, if
we
anybody
picked up 9 gold claims here in Colorado this last year. We've got a couple more coming online pretty soon. So our members will be allowed to use those gold claims. Our paid members will have 3 gold claims up by Silverton, Colorado to use. And you could treasure hunt there. You could metal detect. You could gold prospect
Oh, wow.
with dredges and high bankers, anything you want. Plus, all our properties that we have camping available right on them.
Yeah.
You could camp right there. You don't have to drive 30 miles or 100 miles away to find a hotel or anything else. You got a camper or a tent, pitch it right on the claim. That's one thing that we're trying to work out, where we have all camping on our site, so you don't have to be worried about moving your equipment every day when you get done or anything else. You could just camp right there.
Yeah, definitely. Now, anybody who wants to know more, they can go to www.ats.org. That stands for the Worldwide Association of Treasure Seekers. So www.ats.org, and you can find out a lot more information there. If you got any questions for Wayne, he's here right now. Feel free to leave a message on the video, on the live feed, and I will definitely ask him as long as we got him on the line. That sounds like a great deal. It sounds like a great bit of fun to actually get out there and go gold prospecting, be able to go metal detecting. We are talking about the Colorado area. So this was the crossroads of America in the 1800s. A lot of wagon trains were coming through this area. I mean, heck, not far from where I used to live up in the Loveland in Fort Collins area. We got the mountains there, and there were a lot of families lost in that area trying to cross over to the west. So there's a lot of stuff to be found in that area.
There's a lot of treasures that people don't know about in Colorado. If you look up treasures of Colorado on the internet, almost every area of Colorado, Utah, and just unbelievable the amount of treasures that are out there. Hidden treasures, lost treasures, found treasures, everything.
Yeah, because think about this.
A vast thing out on the internet right now with all the treasures in that.
Because I mean, you
The
got
Fen treasure. You heard about the Fen treasure over in Germany? Man, hid $2 million worth of. There's 2 1-pound gold nuggets in this box. Gems, minerals, coins, gold coins, silver coins. I mean, it's just unbelievable what the man put in this box.
and this is in Germany.
And what's that?
This is in Germany.
No, it's buried north of Santa Fe, New Mexico, United States.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's yeah, that's right. That's
the Fen treasure.
Yeah, in New Mexico. Yeah,
I've
Patrick
been out
definitely
6
knows
times
about
looking
it.
for it, and Forrest Fenn has acknowledged that my partner and I and my 2 kids have been the closest to it.
Really?
Yeah. So
you're going
right
back.
Right now the weather is not conducive for us to get there where we're looking.
Mm-hmm.
But come early spring, as soon as all this breaks, we're back on it.
Yeah, I would be too, especially if Fenn actually said you're the closest. That's a lot of money just to be sitting out there. And if it's one of those things.
Well,
everyone says that he's just making this up, but he is adamant about this being out there.
Right, and it's a $2 million treasure. They expect it to be worth about $2.5 million by the time somebody finds it, and that's within the next year. And the price will go up every year, of course.
Yeah, based on gold
but
price. Yeah.
If I were to take and find it and run it through Sotheby's auction, it would probably go for about $5-6 million.
Yeah, it's basically because you have Finn's seal on there, and that shows that it was his, and people want a piece of that.
Right. So what my partner and my plans are, and my kids, we've already discussed it. There's 2 1-pound nuggets. He's going to take one, and I'm going to take the other one. Those are ours.
There you go.
The rest of it's going to go into a museum somewhere on loan for 6 months to a year. And let's say we find it in Durango, Colorado. It's not in Durango, folks, so don't look in Durango. We already know that. It doesn't fit the critique for the treasure itself, but let's say I find it in Durango, Colorado. I will go to the Historical Society or to the City Council and say, here's the Fen treasure. I'm going to give it to you to put on public display for 6 months to a year. What is that going to do for the city of Durango? That is going to bring in more and more tourists to see this treasure that has been found in that area.
Mm.
So I'm going to boost up all the revenue for the local town that I find it near.
Yeah, definitely.
That's number 1. And then number 2, it will not go to the Smithsonian. It might go to the New Mexico Museum, one of the New Mexico ones, one of the Colorado ones, whatever state we find it in. It might go to that museum for a few months to build up their revenue dollars. And then that'll give me time to figure out how I'm going to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to keep things that are priceless. So you might as well put them on public display. And then nice thing about it is if you put it in a museum, they end up insuring it for you. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, true.
And 9 times out of 10, a museum will pay you to put this on expedition.
That's a good point.
For treasure seekers out there to think about. You could take it home and hide it and not let anybody know you found it, which a lot of treasure hunters do. But to take it and put it out there in the public is probably one of the best things.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's one of my things. I always want to get stuff that I found back into the eyes of the public. I'm American in Germany, but I think it's important to bring the German history back to the Germans, and that's what my main goal is.
Right.
So anybody with questions for Wayne from Watts, please feel free to leave a message, give us a buzz on Facebook. If you want to get in touch with me directly over Facebook, you can call in from there. You got a question for Wayne or anybody from wwats.org, please feel free to give us a heads up.
You could also go on our Facebook pages. We have, I believe it's Watts Rendezvous 2017. We also have WWATS, Worldwide Association of Treasure Seekers, on Facebook. You could private message me on there. Or you could go just to Wayne Peterson and private message me any questions you might have and contact me through there.
That's a worldwide.
And I'll be happy to answer your questions.
It's a Worldwide Association of Treasure Seekers. You can find them on Facebook. And right through us on Global Detection Adventures as well. I can get you in touch with them really easy if you can't find them. But really easy to find, wwats.org. Any questions? We're going to go ahead and take a small break for a commercial, let you guys know exactly what's going on with Blackadder, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. It helps if I actually get the button clicked. Let's try this again, folks.
I am a tool. I am a voice generated from a computer that will break soon. Blackadder shovels are not tools. They are weapons. And the ground is scared of them. Unlike me, they will be around for a long time to come. They are perfectly built. Really unlike me. Perfection. On a new level. www.blackada.com.
Well, thank you so much, Wayne, for calling in. I'm glad we finally got to talk with you over WWATS, the Worldwide Association of Treasure Seekers. That's a fantastic organization. Anybody that's up in the Colorado area, make sure you check them out at wwats.org. They have so many things that they do during the course of the year. Plus, they got the brand new thing coming up with a subscribe with the Go Coin and everything else. You can find that on www.ats.org. And it's I'm going to give you the heads up on exactly what it is right now. It is just a moment. For some reason I shut that down. I don't exactly know why. But yeah, for just a short time, if you become a member of the Worldwide Association of Treasure Seekers, they have a 3-year subscription, and right now they're offering it at a low price of $85 for 3 years. Normally it's priced at $136 for the coin and the membership, but if you act right now, it is $85. Make sure you visit them at www.ats.org. Man, that's a lot of W's. Yeah, so visit them at www.ats.org. And yeah, you'll find the promotion code to be able to get the $85 membership for 3 years. And that 3-year membership allows you to go to the camp that they got and go metal detecting up there, like he was talking about, and to one of their areas where you can actually go gold prospecting and everything else, go metal detecting up in that area. It's a fantastic deal, especially if you live in the Colorado area, and definitely worth it. So check it out. If you want to get in touch with him directly, it's really easy. Right at nuggetbrain1 at msn.com. That's nuggetbrain1 at msn.com. No space. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call up our next guest, Scott Dubé and his wife, Kimmy. They were out metal detecting, and I'm going to let them know that I'm calling them right now, and hopefully we can get in touch with them. They are going to be coming over the mic, and hopefully they'll be able to hear me a-okay. Here they come. Hello, Scott. Hello? This moment, make sure I get my settings right on this. Ah, man, these things. Microphone.
Hello.
USB. Audio output is built-in output. So, Kimmy, Scott, you there?
Can you hear this?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm hoping that you got me all right.
Can you hear us?
Yes. Do you hear me? Boy, it sounds like a video game in the background. Let me double check my settings, and I'm going to give them a call right back. Make sure my settings. Oh. They said their laptop was on as well. Let me double check my settings here. Make sure that everything's set up correctly on my side. I want the USB audio for the microphone. Save.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm hoping that everything's working now. It is my problem. It is my issue. Let's try this.
No.
Yes, do you hear me? This is insane. See, these are the issues that we have with live shows. Obviously, you know, that's one of the problems that we've always had. And so I'm going to get them on Skype, let them know to give me a buzz on Skype. And for the meantime, we're going to go ahead and take a call from Patrick White. I know he is just itching to talk about the Finn treasure. This guy knows a lot about that. And this guy, you'd be surprised how much this guy actually knows. Patrick White is one of our most loved members of the GDA team. And I know he's definitely got something interesting to say. Let's see if we can get him to keep from talking about aliens. Okay, rule number 1, there's no alien talks today.
All right.
Well, I got you, and so we'll definitely get to talk about this. No, we were just talking about the Finn treasure, and you obviously know a lot about it. So, exactly what do you know about the Finn treasure?
Well, I mean, Wayne laid it out pretty nice as to where it is and what's in the box and everything. And I guess I was unaware that it's been acknowledged that he's been the closest people to the treasure box. I have heard him say that maybe somebody was within 500 feet of it or something like that. But I just wanted to discuss real quick just a kind of a strange connection that I have with Forrest Fenn that I was unaware of. You know, I was going to make a video about it, you know, with pictures and things, but my recording equipment is just kind of on the blink. It's on and off. I can't trust it, and it's just very frustrating.
No, that's too bad.
So, but anyhow, you know, I had heard about him burying that treasure several years ago, and I really didn't think anything much of it other than that it was just pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, and then so then I get this sudden urge out of the blue to start gold prospecting, and then it didn't really work out, as you can see in my video. And then it kind of just led to me being a metal detector guy. And then so I'm out in the park and I'm detecting, and I figured that I'm going to you know, find some stuff. And then there's all these holes, you know, divot holes everywhere. And I figured it's just not worth it. I just might as well go home. And then I just get this sudden urge out of the blue in the park to start burying things.
Yeah.
And but little did I know that the park that I was in, you know, or that the town that I live in is Temple, Texas, and that's actually where Forrest Fenn grew up. was actually within a stone's throw. I mean, literally, you could hit if there was a golf flag on his father's grave, Marvin, you could hit it from where I planted my first box.
Oh, wow.
You know, and so I was at a Rotary meeting, or actually it was a Lions Club meeting, and I was giving a presentation there, and then this old guy, his old veteran, comes up to me and he says, he shows me this picture on his phone, you know, of this old basketball team, all black and white and everything, and there's this guy, you know, all dressed in black, you know, the old guy, you know, in the back wearing black, it's like a suit, you know, almost looked like a German military suit.
Yeah.
And he says, you know who that is? And I says, no. And he goes, that's Forrest Fenn's daddy. And that's me, number 12 right there. And I'm just there's this young kid, and I'm just like, wow, this is just amazing, you know. And so things just started to come together. As far as, you know, it just made me wonder if like Marvin, you know, had some kind of an angel, you know, that was prodding me to bury the treasure at that point. And so I go and I find his tombstone and stuff. And then there's actually there was a red cardinal when I pulled up, actually sitting right on the tombstone, and it said that the cardinal is when there's a cardinal present, there is an angel present. And so I just thought that was pretty coincidental as far as all those things go.
Yeah.
And as I was leaving the park that day, I saw there's the cemetery right there. The number one, they have like a flagstone tombstone there at the entrance, and it had the name Coley on it. And that was kind of weird because it's not a very usual, you know, common name, but it just happens to be my brother's name. And so just all these little coincidences and synchronicities that were adding up that just makes me just wonder, you know. And I wonder, I can't help also wonder that if Forrest, you know, I don't think that he just woke up at 80 years old and decided to start burying treasure. I think that it might have been something that it was congenital. You know, he might have just been a born digger and barrier and searcher, and he might have started burying bones for his dog, you know, when he was a little kid, and it might have expanded from there. So I really wouldn't be all that surprised if there are smaller treasures buried somewhere here in Bell County. Unfortunately, the house that he grew up in has burned down, I think, back in the 80s, and all that's left is just the lot with some grass and a garage and a boat in the driveway. And I talked to a neighbor there who was sitting on the porch, and asked her, you know, if anybody has ever metal detected there, and she says no, they don't allow metal detecting on that particular property.
Oh, that's too bad.
But just on the other note, you know, I wanted to just give a big thanks to Wayne, because he's very inspiring. You know, I've been kind of frustrated lately, and because I don't think that there's enough people out there that are seeding. But after hearing what he's said, you know, it's just really a great thing, I think, that he's doing, and has given me maybe some new angles, because I'm always looking for new angles. I've got some new he talked about the Secrets tins. I got the little round ones. I ordered about 2 dozen of them, and they got the screw caps on them and everything with a nice little seal on the inside so that the moisture doesn't get in there. And not only that, but I can take the little metal stamps that I have, and I can stamp, you know, the Vulcan Treasure Society into the top of the can, so that I don't actually, might even not even need to put a card in there, because I could even stamp a phone number on there if I wanted.
No, it's true. But I think it would be
and
better
then-
putting it in because I mean, even if it's tin, I mean, we've seen, you know, any of us that have been out metal detecting, tin does have a tendency to degrade. It takes a little bit longer than other metals, but it will still degrade.
Sure, yeah, Roger that. And then, but they have a yearly hunt here in Temple. I think it's called the Texas Metal Detector Association or something like that. And last year in April, they had a hunt. You had to pay like $160, I think, to go on the seated hunt. And they gave away, you know, many thousands of dollars of metal detectors. And they have the little tokens that you find, you know, with the number on it. Whatever number that you get, that's the item that you get. And then they also had many silver dimes and maybe quarters and nickels and things like that were in the field. So I went back after the hunt, and even, you know, a few days later, and found a couple of silver dimes that were still left over that weren't found. And so I'm thinking that this year, before the hunt, you know, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to seed the field with a few of my things. And won't they be surprised?
Well, we got oh man, Luke. Luke was he mentioned that you made a good point about Forrest Finn a little bit ago. But yeah, he said he saw the stamps and they're a great idea. In fact, Luke is thinking about moving his 4 burials to make them a little bit more findable for people, so that hopefully you'll get some finds out of the UK for you.
Yeah, you know, Luke has done a great thing. I've seen his burials have been very, very nice. You know, he's got the silver goblets. His buddy buried some looked like 50 caliber bullet casings, and then there were some other little small gold things that I'm not sure what they were. They looked like some kind of clips or something. But those will all make very, very nice finds. And you can just never tell who's going to find something. One of the last things that somebody found of mine, it was just it's in a very obscure park. I put it in the wood chips, and then the guy found it. You know, I was just he contacted me, and I actually got really paranoid because the picture that he took, it was real dark and everything looked really rough, you know, because the box had rotted, and you know, and then it just looked like a crime scene photo. Is what it looked like to me, and so I was thinking, man, maybe the police found, you know, my burial, and but I don't know now that. But he did contact me and say that he was happy to find it, and we were supposed to go out for lunch, but I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah, and he's letting you know that I guess it's the 50 cal bullets or the shell casings that you saw were from His Majesty's ship, the Invincible. I'm guessing World War II would have been that time frame.
Yeah, they were really awesome. And he had also taken a picture of a looked like a bottle. I think maybe he was going to put something in, maybe throw it in the ocean. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting things mixed up. Maybe that was me.
Yeah, but with 4 burials, there's definitely a lot of stuff. So Graham Stokes was the one that actually fired them. He was in the Navy at the time, so he fired them from the ship. So Ed, just a second, we got a call coming in from the Dubays. They will join us. Why can't I get this thing to work? There it goes. Yeah.
All right. Well, then, Lance, I'll step aside and let the next guest come on. I appreciate you letting me be here. Love GDA.
Thank you, and we love you.
In a couple of weeks, we'll be able to talk to Dave, too.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have the whole team back in, so we'll definitely be able to talk.
All right. Take care, brother.
Yeah, you too. Scott.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, finally. Sorry, I'm having an issue with Facebook and trying to get this microphone to work on Facebook. It's not your problem. It was mine.
Well, you know, the technology today,
Yeah.
you know,
we get higher and higher technology, but everything gets worse and worse until finally the robots take over the planet and we all die a horrible death.
That's it.
Hello.
Well, hello.
UK.
Yeah, hello, Kimmy. I'm glad to finally get you guys both on the show. Saw you guys out running around, so I need to find out exactly who won today.
Me, of course.
Now, I promised I wasn't going to say this, so for everybody that's listening, this is not a call from the United Kingdom. This is a call from Wales. So I want to get that straight off. This is husband and wife metal detecting team. This is Scott and Kimmy Dubé. I believe that's how it's pronounced, Dubé.
That's correct.
Okay, out of Wales. In fact, they were out, looked like it was above a river somewhere near the ocean, metal detecting today as well.
Yeah, we were on the coast in South Wales in Cardigan Bay.
Yeah.
Just hopping around some fields in this little town between a couple Norman castles.
Oh, geez.
Which was absolutely fantastic. You know,
that sounds beautiful.
You can't beat it.
The photographs were absolutely breathtaking. All it was is just rolling green with the water and just beautiful clear sky today.
Yeah, man, just fresh salty air. You know, there's a lot of history going on in the area, and we're just trying to find out what's in the ground. You know.
Yeah. Now, the fields that you started off on today is one of the fields that you actually love. You found hammered coins dating all the way back to the 1300s coming off of that field.
Yeah, I actually found my first whole hammered coin. It came out in great condition. You know, I'm absolutely amazed. I went around the whole field. It took me like 40 minutes, not a single signal, and I hit this little plateau. And all of a sudden, I got a banger. And there she was. She popped out. I was just totally blown away. Absolutely astonished.
Absolutely fantastic. That's got to be something. I mean, I just don't get stuff like that over here. The earliest I've got is a 1500 now, and but being able to find hammered coins that can date back so far, I mean, even to the Roman periods, I just can't even imagine.
It is amazing. I'm blown away. You know, I'm from the States, but I never detected in the States. I started detecting when I came over here.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, looking at it now in the bigger perspective of everybody detecting, if I was in America and you know, you guys want to come over here to see it, I guess I'm living the dream, so to speak, and I didn't even know it. You know, I just took it as I'm just going out metal detecting, and there's so much history. It goes back thousands of years, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I love about Germany as well. I mean, I haven't been able to break too far back living over here in Germany, but you know, just the fact that I find all these relics that are coming out of the ground, and but to be able to find that one coin that's, you know, for me 1535 or for you 1300, it just really puts everything into perspective of the dates and the times that you're looking at. And for me, it's the fact that I'm holding something in my hand that the very last person who held it in such high esteem that this coin might have provided food and sustenance for them for months or even a year. And then I found it in the ground.
I'm sorry, it could have been like a monthly salary for somebody, you know,
exactly.
working in the factory.
Exactly. A friend of mine, about 2 months ago, he found a 10 Kreutzer coin. And so we were trying to figure out exactly what a 10 Kreutzer would have been in the 1760s from when the time was that this one was made. And a 10 Kreutzer would have paid rent on a house for an entire year, or it would have been 1/6 of the cost of a horse.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah.
You know, I actually found a Kreutzer here. I think it's silver. Now you're saying it's 10. Maybe it's 10. Maybe it's not silver. But I did find a Kreutzer here in Wales, believe it or not.
Really? Usually the Kreutzer ended around 18, I think it was 1808, 1809. And usually the 3, 5, and 10 Kreutzer were all silver.
Ja, Deutschland ist sehr gut.
I love it. I love it over here.
So we found quite a lot of different silvers. American dime.
Yeah.
We found.
Yeah, we found an American seated Liberty dime over here.
Over here, yeah.
In the middle of nowhere. absolutely nowhere, in the middle of, in the middle of a field, in the middle of nowhere.
And we thought it was quite bizarre because Scott being American and actually find American dime here.
Yeah.
And Henry VIII, hammered coin.
Oh, jeez.
So there's not as much in Wales. There's not as much that there is in London.
No.
London's got that rich. Do you know what I mean? Wherever you go, it's a Saxon coin or
Roman,
it's a hammer. Do you know what I mean? Here in Wales, we have to work for it, proper work for it. Do you know what I mean? And it's
just
like
like
a
me.
whole day digging before you find anything, and then all of a sudden, bang! There you have that silver, you have that hammy, or do you know what I mean? But it's fantastic. We absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
We do this little town. It's actually got a Norman castle right in the middle of the town, and it's way out. There's just castles are just like spotted here and there and there, but we actually got all these fields and all these farmers. We got their permission to go all the way around the castle, so we're hitting all these fields around the castle, and there's a road that goes from one castle to the other castle, and it's where all the chapels were. So what we're doing is we're going from field to field to field to field. We're just trying to find that one field that's a hot spot. And we think we found a market field, is what we're hitting now. And it's only taken us, 3/4 of a year to find a field like this. So we're just going to start hammering it.
Well, yesterday I found 4 teardrop bag seeds with the crown on it, with numbers on it. It's absolutely the condition they're coming out in is fantastic.
Yeah, it's coming from all eras, the Tudor, the Georgian, the Victorian. It's all, you know what I mean? Like you said, the history just goes back and back, and, we're finding it.
And you're really in Wales. I mean, really in Wales. I mean, people, just like now, you just said that you were metal detecting between 2 Norman castles, and you're in a very highly disputed area because you had the Romans that were coming through there, you had the Normans that were in there, you had the Picts that were fighting for the area. You guys were quite literally on the borders of most of the battles that were going on in the United Kingdom at that time. In fact, it was even the English versus the Welsh for quite a while as well. And that's exactly why the Welsh still remain autonomous to this day.
That's right.
Yeah, that's very true. We I'm just saying about the castle again. We actually have exclusive permission on a battlefield where the Welsh fought the Normans. The Normans actually came out of the castle to meet the Welsh people. And there's this famous little battlefield going on. And it's one of his 12 fields. And we're trying to find that one field where the actual battle took place, but it's definitely on his farm. So we're looking forward to that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. I'm going to be flying over to the UK to meet up with Scott and Kimmy now. So we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Come on over, man.
Come on over. You're more than welcome. Do you want me to have a place to stay? Do you want me to wipe again?
We tell everybody, come on over. Spare room upstairs,
Me and the wife, one of these days, me and the wife are coming over to the UK. We're both going to bring our detectors, and we're going to go down the East Coast, come back up the West Coast, and then back over to London and fly out. So
that's fine. I'd love to go over to the East Coast myself. A lot of action going over there.
Yeah, I got to go meet my friend Bob Hope over there. I know he's listening in right now, and gonna definitely hook up with him. We're gonna go do some beach hunting, and then I'm gonna go down to the south. Got a couple friends down there, right where the Normans actually came into England.
Wow!
And then gonna come back up to the other side.
Hi, Bob.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody in the UK, please feel free to get in touch with each other. I'm sure that everybody would love a little bit of cross sharing to metal detect. I wish I had that opportunity over here. I invite everybody I know to come metal detect with me.
Well, quite a lot of the UKDF are in London based in that area. So we've actually invited the UKDF to come up. It doesn't matter how many they are. They come up and crash in our house. I mean, and then we can go out metal detecting all weekend. Well, I mean, so you're more than welcome. Open house.
Absolutely, and I hope there's a pub down the street because I definitely got to take in the sights.
Yeah, the sights of the taps being pulled.
Just a second. Patrick White, please write Wayne at nuggetbrain1@msn.com. He's asking for you to get in touch with him. That's nuggetbrain1@msn.com. But anyway, I'll edit that out of the edited show that will be coming out next week.
All right. Oh yeah.
So, Kimmy, I wanted to. I got actually a question for you. Luke wants me to ask you if you've driven into any ditches lately.
Did he tell you what happened?
No, not a clue. You just told me to ask you the question.
We were out metal detecting. So where I parked, and we was on a nice country road, and Scott here decided, oh, I'm going to go and look at the horses. So I was kind of tired. So I get in the van, and I thought I would drive up to pick Scott up. But the English don't build the roads properly. And there was this huge, I didn't see it because it was behind the bushes. And there was this huge ditch. And my fan just went sort of, oops, down the ditch.
Oh,
and I sort of sat in the fan and I thought, oh my good God, what am I going to do? But yeah, I crashed my brand new fan in the ditch in Essex on the dig. And I wasn't happy. But she was okay. We pulled her out and she was drivable.
Well, good. I'm glad nothing really big happened. Everybody was safe. No, but that's just got to be frustrating. Luke, you're evil making fun of that.
I actually thought it was quite funny, to be honest with you.
It was supposed to be a 3-day dig, and everybody took off on the second day, and it was just a couple of us left, and so we made the call, and Niall come over and Freddie in the van, and I just happened to have a rope in the back, and they pulled us out of the ditch, and that saved the day. Thank goodness there were a couple of them left over there.
Yeah, fantastic. Niall's a good guy. I know him as well.
Yeah, Niall's awesome.
That's why you should always take a rope with you when you go metal detecting.
Now, what brought you guys into metal detecting to begin with? And how long have you been doing this now?
Oh, well, I'll tell you a little bit. I was actually shopping in this town I live in, and I was going through the charity shops, and I actually seen a metal detector for sale in the back room. And I asked the clerk how much it was, and he said it was like 30, and it didn't work. And I left the store, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a really good metal detector. And he said it didn't work. So I said, well, I can't pay you 30 for a metal detector. I'll give you 15 for a metal detector, 15 pounds, whatever, $20. And I brought it home, cleaned up the battery terminal, popped some batteries in, turned it on. There it was. So I started passing my time doing that. There's really not much else to do out here, to be honest with you. And it rains all the darn time. So anyway, after a while, Kimmy started seeing me bringing home coins and stuff, And then I for her birthday, I went and I got her a metal detector. I got her a little Garrett Ace 250.
Oh.
And she's been hooked ever since. Kim, you want to chime in on that a little bit?
Well, I actually had a stroke in November, a couple of months previous to January. And they were asking me to do rehabilitation to get back the strength in my right arm.
Yeah.
And I had to go to that. Well, watching Scott doing the metal detecting, I thought to myself, well, do you know what I mean? It's exercise, and plus, do you know what I mean? It would get my strength back in my right arm. So, like Scott said, when he bought me the metal detector for my birthday in January, I started going out metal detecting, and my arm started getting stronger. And when I went back to the hospital asked me, how did you get the strength back in your arm so quick? And I says, well, I'm out swinging. And the look that I got when I said, and Joey was like, pardon? Joey, so I explained to them what swinging was, obviously metal detecting. So from then, they were really surprised because for a month, you're not allowed to drive. You're not allowed to do anything besides from rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And within a month, I was back driving my car. Do you know what I mean? And back, everything back to normal just through metal detecting. Do you know what I mean? So to me, I love her. I'm the one who says to Scott, right, come on, get up, let's go. He goes to work and I'm away metal detecting. Do you know what I mean? So absolutely love her. Do you know what I mean? So he'll phone me lunchtime, where are you? metal detecting.
Yeah.
Where I am metal detecting. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? So to me, in a way, I think thank God for metal detecting, because it was a great way for me to get my whole strength back in my body.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah. And I suppose in a way as well, do you know what I mean, it's mind over matter.
Yeah, it's definitely really true. Metal detecting, in a way, is a very therapeutic hobby, and a lot of people don't realize this. And then the ones who do realize how well it is people like yourself, like myself, a couple other people that I know who use it for therapy in one way or another. For you, it's a physical therapy. For me, it's a mental therapy, and it really helps. It really does help. Um, I'm just glad that people are seeing exactly how important this is as a therapeutic, um, I guess you could say, a therapeutic means for people to actually go out and do, because being out there alone, like in the middle of a field or someplace like where you guys were today, that to me is the dream. That is the beautiful location, just being isolated out there, finding history and just being in my thoughts. Just absolutely beautiful.
And you just getting out and being there. You know what I mean?
It's a mental stability, isn't it? I mean, it just gets you.
It's got so many more pros than cons. I mean, even if you look at it at this angle, if you got a young kid that was troublesome in his life, you got him into metal detecting, you get him off the street, you get him in the field. You know what I mean? There's so many variables involved into the pros in this hobby. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like you said, both mental and physically. Do you know what I mean? It just has you there. Do you know what I mean? It's that excitement, do you know what I mean, of getting out. Do you know what I mean? And for me, it was knowing that I'm getting my strength back. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting back to my normal self. Do you know what I mean? And it was just that whole thrill of knowing I'm becoming normal again.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. And for another friend of mine in the UK as well, in Ireland, he uses it for the exact same thing. He's in the UK, but he was in Northern Ireland during the fighting that was going on back in the 70s.
Right.
And even Richard Crunkmeyer, he uses it as a stress relief as well. For everybody, it has some kind of a therapeutic thing, and for other people it's just going out and finding history. Like Wayne, he loves just finding the history and sharing it with others. So
yeah,
in everybody's way, it is a therapeutic means.
It's got so many positives to it. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, do you know what I mean? It's got that mental side of it. Two, it's got the physical side of it. Do you know what I mean? And as well, do you know what I mean? Instead of going to the gym and pumping weights and running on a treadmill for 45 minutes, go out and swing a metal detector, for goodness sake. You're doing the same amount of exercise, if not more, by swinging and digging.
Yeah, but running on a treadmill to me sounds like torture anyway. You're not going to get me on one of those.
You're not going to find any nice coins either.
Exactly. You might get me running if you dangle a piece of cake in front of my face, but that's about it.
Yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying.
That's true. But yeah,
and so you guys are a part of the UK dirt fishing team, UKDF, correct?
Yeah.
And they can definitely, anybody can get in touch with you guys through that. And so if you guys got anything
we've
else?
Actually we've actually got our own metal detecting page, which is Garrett Ace Metal Detectors.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to actually bring it up. I have it written here on the board. But yeah, it's Scott and Kimmy Dubé from the Garrett Ace Metal Detectorists. In fact, earlier in the show today, I played again Scott talking about the Mass Double D 13.5 inch coil from Garrett. Played that again today.
Scott likes his double Ds.
I do. I do. And the 13.5 is really big. I like big double D's, if you don't mind me saying so. But we're really happy to be part of the UK Dirt Fishing group. We'd like to represent the UK Dirt Fishing as like the Welsh sector, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's Amera Welsh, if you know what I mean.
Amera Welsh? What's that? American Welsh?
Yeah. You know what I mean? But we'd like to hopefully get a couple digs going out here and have a little UK Dirt Fishing base camp, Welsh style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And of course you're invited if you get over here. You know.
Well, I'm not too far away. Eventually, one of these days, I'll make it over to the UK. You know, us Jamericans need to meet up with the Welsh-Americans or the Ameriwelsh.
Jamericans.
That's a good one, Lance.
I like that one.
Jamaican. You definitely have to get over there. See, Luke wanted me to make sure that I mentioned the Garrett Ace metal detectorist. So, check him out on Facebook. Definitely look up there. Garrett Ace metal detectorist on Facebook. Wayne says,
basically, the reason we started that group was, I'll tell you why, because when I first started metal detecting, I didn't know what end was up on this stick that made a lot of noise. You know what I mean? So when it came to the Ace, what I ended up doing, what do? You look online for things, right? So, there's only so much you could read in blogs. But I started going to little groups and stuff, and I just wanted to give back what I learned from other people, and just like kind of centrified this genre of metal detectors just to Garrett Ace. So, because if people have questions, they can come here. They want to share their experience, they can do it here with the amateurs and newbies. And that's how that all started. And it's been taken off. It's quite successful, and it's a really fun place to be.
Yeah, thanks to UK Dirt Fishing.
Yeah, definitely. UK Dirt Fishing and GDA, we're extremely close together. Me and Luke, and actually Dave Sadler as well from Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine. We're really tight, and great
guys. Yeah, Luke, great guys.
Yeah, we definitely love each other, and we try and share the love between all the groups and everything. And that's how I found out about you two. Luke came to me about you guys. Actually, about 2 weeks ago, I heard about Scott for the first time, and then I started looking up the Garrett Ace metal detectorist, which I am actually a part of. I was just looking, and
awesome.
Yeah, definitely be looking you guys up more often. Looking at the time, I didn't know I was yapping this long.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to see, we actually have a YouTube channel as well. It's Huntress Kimmy and Cloudhopper Scott. We've got like 30, 40 videos on there of us out doing this metal detecting here in the fields, finding silvers, finding hammers, everything you can imagine that I was telling you about between the two castles. That's where it all takes place. So you can check that out too if you'd like.
I am typing it in right now. Kimmie. Huntress Kimmy. See what comes up. Huntress Kimmy and Cloudhopper Scott. You are.
Hey, what do you know? There we are.
You are subscribed. Hey, look, I'm number 69.
Cool. But yeah, no, I think it is a big thank you to Luke. Do you know what I mean? Because it was Luke that sort of we done our first rally with Luke. With UK Dirt Fishing. Thoroughly enjoyed meeting all the guys. Do you know what I mean? They were so hilarious. Freddie with his sombrero hat, and it was a really good weekend. Do you know what I mean? We had loads of fun with Luke, and it was lovely to actually put faces to names as well. Do you know what I mean? So I think in a way, do you know what I mean, it was Luke and UK Dirt Fishing that really set us off to start up the Garrett Ace metal detecting group.
Yeah, when we were young amateurs, what was that, a couple of years ago, year and a half ago, we joined Luke's group, UK Dirt Fishing, when there was only like 200-300 members in it. We just watched it grow, and we've grown with it, and we've had a lot of fun. And everybody's just like you said, it's just a nice little network that everybody's got going on here, and it's great to make friends. It's nice to meet you today as well. So looking forward to the future of that. So awesome, awesomeness everywhere.
Definitely be hitting you guys up again later on. Find out exactly how it's going in the future, how your hunts are going on, and one of these days, me and the wife will come out and we'll get a little competition out on one of these fields.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like a competitive double date. Detectorist date.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm competitive anyway. I take the mickey out of the boys. Do you know what I mean? I really do. And they hate it. They absolutely hate it. If I'm in a field, we went in, I have to tell you this one. We were in one field one day, and rather than walking round and getting into the next field, there was sort of like a bush that we could all squeeze through. So we've squeezed through this bush, and the minute I've got over to the other side of the field, I started swinging. Bing, 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 bing. Dig it out, and it was a lovely. What silver was it?
With Charles I silver, 1600s. You know, that's what we get for chivalry. You know, ladies first, and we let her through the bush first, and she comes out, she pulls out the silver instead.
Oh, well, they were fuming, but I love it.
Yeah,
I mean, totally love it.
Sounds beautiful. Man, I'm gonna have to get out. You know, I wanted to go out hunting today, but the snow started coming down. We're almost at 4 inches now, and just would have been too much to actually try and trudge through that with my little dog. So I gave up.
Yeah, take a break. Come do a podcast. Forget about the walk.
Yeah. See, this is more fun. This is totally off the hook today. This is not our typical type of podcast. We're just shooting it by ear as it went today. Everything turned out great. Had some great guests. You guys coming on, absolutely fantastic. And having
awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Wayne would actually like you to get in touch with him as well, if you guys would. His name is Wayne Peterson. You can find him on Facebook at WWATS. I believe that's WWATS. Let me double check that on Facebook. If you type
Wayne, we're going to get a hold of you, Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne Peterson.
I'll look forward to it. We're going to get a hold of you.
I'll send you his information right now
over
Wayne. Facebook.
Yeah, please do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wayne, we're going to hook up with you. Just hang on.
Why isn't it copying? Come on now. Technology. Anyway, but I want to go ahead and thank you and the lovely Kimmy for coming onto the show. You guys are absolutely great, and following you guys hunting out there today with the wonderful, wonderful views that you guys were sharing with me, it just made me extremely jealous while I was sitting on my reclining chair trying to edit a video.
That was the whole point.
That's why we did it.
That's why we did it.
I know.
A little taste of what you get to look forward to when you get over here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just bring your recipes.
I will. And for Wayne Peterson, thank you so much. Make sure you check them out at wwats.org, or you can email him at nuggetbrain1@msn.com. And we'll see you guys real soon. As far as you, Scott and Kimmy, stay on the line real quick, and I'll get you the information for Wayne over to you. And as far as everyone else, thank you for paying attention to my boring.
Bye, guys.
Happy hunting.
And we're going to see you guys in a couple weeks with Dave and Mike back. And the shows will be back on as usual. And we're going to have our great Christmas episode. And until we see each other out on the fields, let's dig it up, y'all.
Get up. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going offline. Thank you guys for everybody tuning in us live, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.